Hello, this is Brian Whitten and ETR. Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to make a very quick video today because I did get confirmation of something, well, a few things actually, and they were important enough to come back and discuss. Before I move on with any, well, I'll say new findings or these new understandings, I'm going to go over very quickly just one or two things. I've shown you this image before, and it is in my video up here called Nuclear Holocaust Part 5, where it discusses not just the placement of nuclear bombs in other areas of the world, but in this instance, the Queen here, whose image is here, in her crown showed us the image, or what I thought at that time was India, and that the placement of a bomb in New Delhi is not only showing us here, or highlighted right here, because where Delhi is up here before the start of, the mountain range. It's back up in the northern portions of India, and these highlighters may very well be other highlighters of nuclear weapons that were left here when the Suez Canal was blocked deliberately, and allowed for the placement just of, not of nuclear bombs here, but also over in the Mediterranean. I won't go through that, but I wanted to show you that and the next image as well. This video is in its full at the end of this video, in its full and in as good a quality as I can give it to you. It was in this video where I saw the Taj Mahal coming out here, and that led me to go and have a look at India, where Taj Mahal was, in respect India, and so on and so on. And in this one you see a boat in this portion, not in this particular portion of this image, but certainly in the video you'll see a boat on this side, another boat on this side, and they imply that the river is here, and the R, which is on one boat, is on the boat that's on this side. So it's in this video here, at the end of this video, called Part 5, Nuclear Holocaust Part 5, is that. I wanted to do that today and just show you that that's actually where we're seeing this R here. It's actually on this boat here. There's another boat in this area and another boat down in this section. But this R is not out of focus. They do this. This is how they imply a message. It's shaky. It meant that they'd already knew that the other nuclear bombs they'd placed had been removed, and they're on shaky grounds here. This is why that R is like that. It's very deliberate. You've just got to understand their message. The reason I wanted to show you that is the following rock. There's a friend of mine on Facebook. I'll say his first name is Jan. I'm not saying to you that he agrees with my understandings of the markings that are on these rocks. I'm merely saying that Jan did say I could put this rock here and show it to you, so I'll go ahead and do that. Now this is the rock in question, and really it is really quite a lovely rock. My first impression when I saw it was that there is an Eagles album cover with an eagle painted on a man's hand. That was the first thing I thought, and then I thought, well, it's a goose, or certainly a bird head. And then the longer I looked at it, I realised what I was actually looking at, which was confirmation of exactly what I've just said. A bomb, a really big bomb, placed in New Delhi, in India, it was supposed to go off when Putin was there at the 6th of December in 2021. That's what I believe was the case here. You see the outline of the coast of India here, and back up here into the bay, and I just want you to be aware of what you're seeing in here, because I'll show you the coastline. We see Delhi up here. If I zoom in, I will in a minute. This is where Delhi is. It's right up north in the centre of India. If I move in just a bit closer, just for a second, I'll show you that we've actually got mountain range here. It's like a mountain ridge. It's saying this is what they were going to do. And if you look down in this shape here, you're seeing the very same shape you see at the bottom of India, and I'll show you that very shortly too. But I just want you to realise that that is actual fact told us exactly the same thing. They were going to let out one really big nuclear bomb right there, and I'll show you the coastline of India now so you'll understand that it is in actual fact exactly that, a representation of the Indian mainland or the subcontinent, and what was going to happen, as I said, a nuclear explosion there that was supposed to be on the 6th of December 2021. And here we have the continent, the subcontinent itself. And there are certainly similarities, especially when you get down here. It looks like there's a little bit of a face in this portion of India, like a nose and whatnot. But the bay is exactly as it is on the rock. There are two major movements like that to the west. Delhi is right there. It's exactly where it says it is on this image. Now I'll just toggle between those two images so that you can see the coastline of India here. Once you come up the side here, this movement, and the same on this side, and to the western side here. We have the same sort of nose feature here of a face. We see on the rock here as well, exactly the same thing here. There's like a little nose, and so I believe what we're seeing there is exactly the same thing, but this is not microscopic, as you can see. It's the entire rock that you can see. And I just wanted to put that there because it's once again confirmation of the very same thing that we've seen on two different rocks at microscopic level. A nuclear explosion planned in Delhi as part of the, you know, like I said, the people that run our world not too happy about having to be judged by the people that return, and certainly what they have tried to do is make sure that there was very few people to come back to return for, and they've tried to kill many, many billions of people. They will be disappearing in very, very quickly, and I would expect we are very, very close. I'm not even going to guess a date, but I reckon they won't see the end of this week. But anyway, that's not actually why I made the video today. I will show you now why I made the video. This is the main reason I wanted to make the video today. I have had a few people say to me, listen, where do we not have the problem? You know, this, and I'm not saying it's a problem just purely with Caucasian people. We've got people, you know, in the Middle East that want to marry 9-year-old girls. We've got, and I've seen pictures, I don't know how real they are, of people in China eating children. And I know that's what goes on, you know, in these, that's what's supposed to be going down, and a lot more people involved. I will say one thing, I believe in the number of Maui on Easter Island, which is 888. We're actually getting told how many people are going to be taken, and it is roughly that, 888 million. In I've already discussed in Australia, we are told 1.6 to 2 million people from Australia are going to be taken away. These are the people involved in all that sort of thing, and are also involved in the nuclear holocaust that I've just told you has been avoided or averted by the fact that your nuclear bombs have been taken away. But we'll get back to the subject matter here. I wanted to talk to you about this because I've told you I found crucifix on multiple rocks, or 3 within a week. And I thought, well, and that was one of the reasons why I made a video, but this was why I wanted to come back here, because I wanted to point out a difference. This one here also had the number 1 and 3 here, written here, and we exist with only, this is the people north of the Mediterranean. We've only been here for about 2,000 years, a little bit more probably, possibly 2,400 years. We cannot, prior to that, because of this shifting plane of rotation of 180 degrees around the Earth. It started with the Earth going around the Sun in a clockwise direction. We are not on the planet then. We cannot exist going around the Sun in a clockwise direction. We already know that. We see this going this way. I want to show you that one because I also want to show you the next image, which is also a crucifix. But I want you to note that this crucifix here is standing rigid, straight. It has not lost its foundation. It is in good, it's still standing, right? I want to show you that compared to this image, which is the other image that I found a crucifix on. This one here. Now our sweep is this way, and our crucifix is this side, but it's not standing up here. It's actually fallen over. It's fallen over because the foundation of the teachings within it are gone, you know. This is what's happening. And what's the difference between this, there's a crucifix on the left side, of the last one, and a crucifix on the right side. We know the Caucasian races and those above the Mediterranean can't go around the sun in a clockwise direction. So for the cross to be moving from side to side, be fallen on this side and standing over on the other side, it's telling us about the rotation of Earth on its axis here. It's actually saying to us that this problem with us, right, where we fall, where we become not very good people, and like I said, I'm not just solely saying us, but we fall. The problem here is the rotation of Earth on its axis. That's what it's saying here. When the Earth, through the same cycle that we have just had, is spinning on its axis in a different direction than now, instead of being anti-clockwise, it's spinning clockwise, the problem doesn't exist. And I believe we are being told that, without doubt, in that image. I go back to this one. This is the other reason why we see 1 and 3 here. Because we're getting told here that this 1 and 3 is one of these half cycles. We can't live on the other half of this either. But the difference is, we don't have the problem. This is why the crucifix here is standing firm. It means the foundation of the knowledge is not destroyed. In other words, that the leaders don't do what they've done in this cycle. The people here, when they come back, have not got 888 million people to take off the planet. This is what the message is here. I'm absolutely certain that that is that message, and that is why I made the video today, because I have had people say to me, well, what causes the problem? Now there would be people that would say, well, why do you run the other cycle? It's what I've said to you. You have to run the cycle. You can't take, and once again you are getting told here by these messages, there are people that require our seed for their existence because they had to forego their ability to breed normally. And probably the fact that initially, when all this happened 80 million years ago, that's what they did. It may be now that they actually can't breed normally anyway, but like I said, I would expect we're being told here we don't have the problem when the Earth is spinning in a clockwise direction, going around the sun in an anti-clockwise direction, which is what we need to be able to breed, at least the ones above the Mediterranean. And I've also said to you that the Middle Easterns seem to be able to breed either way. I have put up on my channel about how possibly the binary star system worked as well. That was one other matter I will just touch on very, very quickly before we call it a day. And this is the crop circle. As simple as it is, I believe that what we're getting told here, this is not my work, this is Steve Alexander. He uploads this to a site called UK Crop Circles. I haven't asked Steve's permission to put this here. I'm a non-profit channel, and I have been to this site many times and explained what we were being told in certain crop circles, the ones that I did understand. This one, I believe, is telling us how our binary star system worked, the one we evolved in. And this would explain why some people can live when the Earth, in a single star system like it is now, can live on Earth when it stands straight and other people can't. Because as a binary star system, one star encompassed the entirety of the other star and the entirety of every magnetic field of the other star as well as the one it created. So in other words, it may be the red dwarf, the smaller of the two stars, because it's more compressed. I don't know, I'm not a physicist, nor am I have any of the qualifications to do such calculus on things, but the fact it's smaller makes me think that maybe it's got a larger magnetic field and is able to encompass the other star's magnetic fields in its entirety. And that would be why there may be planets that were spinning around this star in whatever direction. Could have been both, depending on mass, and then other planets spinning around this star. But because the whole lot is encompassed by one of the stars, how we can have the problems. So there will be people like the people that live above the Mediterranean that need to be on a planet that with cycles, we obviously can be born in different ways, but we obviously have a problem in rotation on the axis when we spin anti-clockwise. When we spin clockwise, we don't have the problem. And like I said before, you could say, why do you spin it that way? You have to, because there's obviously people that are reliant on that portion of it. We have to be spinning anti-clockwise, or the seed of mankind that is required to seed others has to go through that process, because there is no way you could know otherwise. And that's what I'm saying to you. It has to be cleansed, and the cleansing is part of the process, and the manipulation of Earth around the Sun in totally different directions, different magnetic fields of the Sun, clockwise, anti-clockwise, tilted, laid flat, this way, that way. They run it. It takes 337,000 years to achieve all the directions they wish to achieve. And like I said, I believe the 337,000 year cycle, I won't go through all the processes of how we're showing that. I've done that before, but I believe that is in actual fact exactly what we are being told in that crop circle, that it's the entirety of a star and all its magnetic fields are within the other star, and that would explain why we've got that situation, and that would explain why some can breed whilst others can't on the current cycle that we approach now, with Earth with its straight axis spinning anti-clockwise, going around anti-clockwise with a 21 to 22 hour day. That's going to be what I believe I could be wrong, but I do believe that would account for all of those types of things being very much inherited into the genome of each and every one of us. And as much as we are all human, yes, we are, but our past is very, very different. And I'm in our distant path. I'm going back to the number we were talking here of 80 million years ago. It was that this management of the development of the human race became necessary. That's how I'll finish the video today. And like I said, I don't think we're too I don't think we're too far from getting the lesson from the right people. And not saying that mine's guesswork. I've probably been lucky enough to been given the right to come to a couple of understanding that made things far clearer for me. So, but certainly, when they get here, they will tell you, probably verify a fair bit of what I said, certainly minus my mistakes. That's all from Brian Whitten and ETR. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.